again, Rondane. In this video, whenever it's finished, we'll show off our cabin. Björneborg. Here's an exterior view. It's the new front of the house. The old entrance used to be right there. It's still there, but we hardly use it. That's one of the outhouses. And the outhouse far in the back. That's where we have water. Let's see the view. There's Björnolja. We can see it from our living room window right there. Gravel road, and here, checking off on our little road, or track, whatever, path to our cabin, which, as you see, is totally invisible from the road. You have to know that it's there, and even then you don't see it, but then you'd go to check. And look, there's my mom's car parked in our little so-called parking lot. A one-car parking lot, basically. Even when you get this far, you can't actually see the cabin. So it's extremely well hidden by the terrain. Well, I suppose you could squeeze two cars in here. You could if you had to. See there, it's coming into view. A lot of water for the path. We have a marsh up here. Unfortunately, no cloudberries on it, not a single one. Alas, for my mother. Here we are, coming into view. Our fantastic view that we have. And the noise that you hear is the Myllinge River down in the valley. A constant roar from the river and the valley floor. So, let's see. Living room windows, the old front door, again, still there, hardly use it. One of the bedrooms has a separate entrance right there. Water place and throwing all kinds of crap away place. Sharpening whatever needs to be sharpened, we do right there. See, that's the old outhouse that my grandfather built. Used to be like the outhouse as well as a tool shed and a woodshed. Now it's just used for woods and tools, since my dad and my uncle built this new outhouse. An excellent one it is. And here is the new tool shed. Sorry, the woodshed. We also store wood in there and in there. Wood everywhere. And as you can see, we have a pretty amazing view and a pretty great plot of land that we've had since 1950 or 1951 is when my grandpa bought it. And summer 51 he started to build. As you can see, all the roofs are turfed. The main house too, even though it doesn't show up too well from this angle. That's traditional and typically Norwegian, and helps in this area, especially when there aren't supposed to be any cabins, actually, because we're in the national park. It helps to disguise the houses so that they aren't visible, or very visible from a distance. As you can see also, there is nothing to indicate any kind of phone lines, power lines, anything like that, and you're right, there is nothing. We cannot have power here. We don't have a phone connection. There's no sewage, there's no running water except something that we've rigged that only works in summer, because otherwise winter it freezes. That's because this is more or less in the national park. We are at present in Myllinge Nature Preserve, which is a sort of section now, a wedge, that is part of Rondane National Park, the oldest national park in Norway. And of course, you cannot draw power lines here, phone lines, anything like that. You cannot, strictly speaking, even build here. But we have a special dispensation, or had one, because of my family's connection to this area. Mainly because of the setter that you see right down there, Björnolja shieling. So, entering the house, a welcome mat, of course. This is the hall where we store things, clothes, rubber boots, for instance, because I've just come home from a long hike. This is the bathroom. It is fiercely the coldest room in the house. It's almost unbearable, but we have a way of heating it with that gas stove there. The living room slash sitting room, of course, with a huge fireplace and various local pieces of artwork. It used to be much, much smaller. It used to run from just right there through here. But again, my dad and my uncle done a lot of work adding things on here. That's where my aunt and uncle's dog sleeps when she's here. The kitchen, no running water except in summer. We have cold water. Yay! And we have hot water. We're basically keeping this full of water at all times. And lighting a fire in the old stove. It's pretty roomy. We have a gas cooker, a real cooker. Only had that for a few years. That is a hell of an innovation. Let's see. The biggest bedroom, usually my mom and dad's room when we're here. Just my mom's room right now, since my dad is at home working, the poor sap. This is my room, let's see. Used to be my grandma's room. Just off the kitchen. But since she died, it has become my room. As you can see, it's an awful, awful mess. Unsurprisingly. Again, the living room. One last bit to show you. We do not have electricity, like I said, but we do have a solar panel on the roof, which you didn't notice. It's impossible to see, sliding flat down in among the grass. But it does give us a little bit of electricity so that in the dark nights we have, let's see, electric light. But it's one to give out at the strangest moments because obviously if there's no sun, there's no power. The fireplace. Various decorations, and of course, some local thingamies. And Christmas dinner. Okay, so this is the old front door. I've just went out. This is the old, wonderful veranda. I love this veranda. My grandpa built it. It's wonderful. That's the window to my room. This is the last of the 3 bedrooms, which is used the least. It has its own stove. It used to be my room when my grandma was alive, and she would have that room, and I would sleep out here, and I would be desperate to light a fire at night if it was cold, so I wouldn't have to sleep in the awful temperature that you sometimes get here. Now it's mostly a guest room. I'm not sure who uses it when my aunt and uncle is here, but I'm kind of happy to say goodbye to it. I prefer the indoors room. Again, the outhouses and the glorious, glorious view. This is the turfed roof of our cabin. It's looking very nice and green this year, which pretty much everything is. So I guess there hasn't been too much water and too little sun, at least for plants and trees and grass and whatever. Only for humans, alas. We would have liked to put more sun. And there in closing is my little dog's grave. She loved it up here. She always loved it. So we decided to bury her here when she died. So she can be here in this beautiful landscape forever.